Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today with BK, this is the part 2 from my previous video regarding the before and after for the VCM OTR installation. I'm excited about this. I look forward to seeing if there's any differences. Please like, subscribe, and please comment on what you think. But this is before the original equipment, and then you'll see what you think, what it looks like. I think it's going to look good, especially in the black, with the black carb and all the panels like that. So, all right, stay tuned. All right, so the first step, get this cover off. There it goes. That's a pretty heavy cover. So the next step is, and I found it a little bit easier if you actually lift these heater hoses away. I don't know if you can see over here. There's a little tab right here. If you press that tab in, it comes right out. Okay? This is the breather for the PCV. So we're going to remove that. So now you see this line is still connected. We're just going to leave it connected because when we pull this off, there's a new line that comes with the kit. Alright, the next, this is a 7mm. I'm just going to disconnect it real quick so we can get that off. And the 7mm here. Next thing I want to do is unplug this MAF. I'm going to put this over here because it's important. We're going to have to reroute it later, especially after we get this interior noise system off. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Now I have this specialty tool. You can get it from Harbor Freight, but let's see if it'll. There it goes. Should pull that thing back. Let's see if we can get it pulled back. There we go. So on these type of things, if they've been on there a while, you might not even get a pick on it. It's also very tight right here, so I think I'll do it when I remove the whole piece. Alright, so we'll move this off of here, and it pops out of there pretty easily. Oh, there we go. Alright, another 7mm here to completely remove the MAF. So just do like this, and then it should just pop out. It's been in there a while. There we go. Nice and clean. Even though my throttle body is somewhat clean, you just want to make sure you get anything out of here, a little dust. Anything like that. I had a little bug that was on top here. So we'll now take off the rubber reducer. If I can get it here. There we go. You won't need that. The kit comes with something else. So CRC is a good brand, I think, but you want to clean your MAF sensor. You see, you don't want anything in there to give you a false reading. So we're going to let that air out and move on to the next. Next we got to get this air breather out. I use a little, you can see it just wobbles around just a little bit, so it gives me a little access in here. You don't want to lose it. And you got one here too. Alright, you just wiggle this and it will come loose. I do see they want you to move that battery post thing out of the way, but come on, booger. Let's see, let's just remove this thing off. There we go. Just move that off like that. We should be able to get that off now. There we go. And it should come out. So now we want to remove this shroud. So we're going to take all of these out, 10mm, and I will get you the actual number for this. So I'm a little picky. I've already taken out this one. I like to put them back where they came from. Maybe the threads have a little, I don't know, sensitivity to them. But these are all 10s. And we'll take this one and just punch with a little pick, or a big pick I say. And now we'll get to these. So these are TX20. So all those are removed. As you can see, this is ready to be pulled out. I'll just have to be very careful, do it with 2 hands in a second here. Alright, you can see it's stuck in the front bumper there. And let's see, I'm going to do it like this. There we go. So now we'll remove the radiator supports. Okay. Well, that one. All right. So as you can see, these have clips here. I believe if we, there we go. We got those. Now we're just gonna pull these off. 1, 2. So we took the 10mm out here. There's a 10mm at the bottom. It is a little difficult. I came up using this and it seemed to work pretty well. As you can see, it's a pretty long bolt. But do that and then it should come back like this, and we don't have to remove this wiring loom from this. So you just gotta pinch a little bit and it should come out. It's a little more difficult. Put the light right there for me. Thank you. Here's one. And this side's a little harder because the wire loom's right there. There we go. There's the other one. So we have this bracket here. Let's take that off. And we're going to push it in here so it's pushed in a lot more so that it does not interfere. So you have these 2 brackets. This side, there's a slot right here. See, you use that existing hole that we had the 10mm in before. And so you can see I put that bracket on as well. We're using those same 10mm bolts. Alright, so I'm going to take this bracket now that's supplied in the kit, slide it in here. It's a little tricky, but we got it there. And this is not the most, and you'll take these washers they provide, which slide right into these, make it nice and neat looking. You'll take the other 10mm that you took off the brackets that were holding on the radiator, and you just run it down. So it looks nice and clean. Alright, so this is the other bracket. It's going to go on this side. Let's see if we can get that in there. Let me see if I can. No one says it's all going to work out correct every time. There we go. There we go. That looks good there. So take that washer again. It's got that oval look, so it fits in here and makes a nice connection to it. And then we're just going to run this down and we'll tighten these up. These are the same 10mm as I was speaking of earlier. Alright, so you can see now the radiator's touching that upper radiator hose, and you can imagine after so many miles it's probably going to rub that. So what I'm going to do now is, there's more room here. I'm going to disconnect the hose and push it forward. So you can see I've got it pushed forward, and that clearly gives you some room here now. Okay, so this is the, I would just call it the bazooka hose, but this is the hose that they put on the 2016 and 17s to send the sound of the engine, or either muffle a little bit, into the firewall area so you hear it inside. Whoop-de-doo, I just want it to go faster like everybody does. So I'm going to take these off of here, and these are T50s. Alright, so we have this T50 out, and this one up here should just pull off. Well, get 2 hands here. There we go. So that bracket's off. And I am going to make it look clean. I'm just going to put this back in so we don't get dirt intrusion inside that area. And then these are 10s here. There's one and one there. Okay, so I've got this off. Let's pull it out and let's show you what happened. So if we pull this like this, well, out there in the car here. So what you have are these two sides squeeze, and that undoes it. So okay, so I don't have a plug for this, but I had a plug that came off another vehicle. I was able to stick that in there, as you can see. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I did order one. I'll drop that in the description as well. Alright, so I'm not a big fan of this fitment. As you can see, once this lines up, this hole here, it's going to leave a little gap to the right, but that's fine for what it's going to do. What I had to do was remove this. I need a light right there. Thank you. Remove this from here. And then up here I had to remove the ground bracket and then the 10mm nut here, and I'm going to put all that back on. Alright, so I went ahead and put the shroud back on. Remember, I used this pattern here, but we won't put these exterior ones on, that one and this one, because we're going to use that for the extra brackets for these other shrouded areas. Okay, so this is the system here. This is the over the radiator composite system that pulls in all that cool air for you. So we've got the rubber connection on, and so you want to have, as you can see there, you want to have that map sensor connection just a little bit offset. It's just a little easier for it to connect. So what we're going to do is we're going to tighten this up, and we'll have this ready, and we're going to put it on here in a minute. So I pulled this out. As you can see, it's a lot easier to get access to tighten this down. Okay, so I went ahead and put it on here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this, it's a lot easier if you just untighten it a little bit. I'm going to shape it around to that shape, and then I'm going to tighten it down. So it's a little pickle to get it on there, but I've got it around it. You do not want to tighten this too hard. You don't want to break anything. You can see how it just pulls it together like that. And then all I do is I take another 7mm here, and let's just test it. It feels good. You do not want to over tighten that, or it's going to crack. Alright, so this is connector to the throttle body. I just went ahead and put that on, tighten it down. And what we'll do is I'll take the other, I'm cocking them all down to the bottom. This is flipped upside down. I'm going to take the other one, I'm going to stick it on the throttle body. So then we'll push it to the throttle body and tighten it. So I've got everything together. I'm going to have to bring this in. You bring it under the radiator, that's why it's called OTR. I'm going to bring this down. When we get this done, we'll show you what it looks like. So I had to put this on first, this bracket. Then I had to put this one on because it's too hard to get it to the throttle body. So get this one first, and then put the system to this. So before I said move these heater hoses out of the way, I'm just going to slide this right in there, and it'll swivel a little bit. And then this is not going as easy as I thought. Okay, I had some really bad luck with my battery, but I was able to put these panels on. You have to put the brackets in here. This is all online. I was just doing a refresher of this. The brackets go underneath these holders and adjustments. This looks very clean. The pins are in here. This is a fake pin, but it looks good. And this pin goes here. All this fascia is back on. You want to hand tighten everything. You don't want to crack anything. All this is plastic. This new age, everything is plastic, right? So, but we got all this on. You can see the MAF wire is not touching. The breather connection is fine, not touching. So I'm excited. We're gonna crank this thing. So here's the finished product with it running. Tell me what y'all think. If you hear any difference. Honestly, I think it's actually a little quieter instead of this cabin noise hose going back there. And it doesn't sound any different inside to me. But this is really put together quite well, I think. Even had this panel down here that went on to cover it inside there. But you can see the motor now. I mean, it was all covered up before, so it's pretty deep. I'm pleased. But like I said, comment below. Let me know what you think. There's a little advantage point of where it's taking in the air, but it's also taking it in down in here as well. I can feel more power, but also it sounds so much better in here. I know that sounds crazy because before it was actually putting the engine noise inside the car, but now I can hear the exhaust better. So that's a big improvement. So I'm really pleased with it so far. It sounds better. It's even rumbling better in the back. I mean, I'm pleased with it. Alright, so as before, let's do a quick little. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice.